Hey everybody, welcome to the Creativity Cave with Dina Rico, and I'm super excited today to share a card that features kind of an alternative way of using the Unbounded Love bundle, which is part of the Unbounded Beauty Suite of products from our Stampin' Up's annual catalog. And I wanted to take a different look at this set. It's definitely in the suite, it's definitely a kind of bright, cheerful color combination. It features our in colors, which are really bright and cheerful. But as we're going into the fall season, I wanted to showcase a card that had a little bit more of a fall feel to it. So I decided to use kind of a fun color combination, which is going to be Pretty Peacock, Pebbled Path, and Wild Wheat. So I love these three colors together. I think they're really great. And so we're going to put our card together featuring these colors, and I'm going to add to it a little bit of the Regal Winter Designer Series paper. The Regal Winter Designer Series paper looks like this. It's beautiful paper. And this right here is my DSP sampler. You can actually order a set for yourself to use as a reference, and the information for that is in the description of this video. So I am going to pull this beautiful pattern out of our Designer Series paper pack and feature that on my card here. So I've got my card base, which is Pretty Peacock. I've cut a piece of that Designer Series paper to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to adhere it to my card base. And then I've got a layer that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Sorry, I had to really think about that. And I embossed it with my Timber 3D embossing folder, which I just love because it kind of goes with absolutely everything. And I wanted a little something on this panel so that it wasn't too kind of blah. Okay, so this is going to just really pop nicely off of my card. Now, in this bundle, we have these really wonderful, let me just grab them, dies that die cut out all of these different sentiments, and you can mix and match some of these dies. So I decided to take this oval along with a couple of my leaves, and I'm going to use them together. So I die cut the oval 2 times, once out of a scrap of my this is Pretty Peacock, and then another out of a piece of Very Vanilla. Now, when I put these two pieces together, they're going to kind of just sit like a puzzle like this. And I felt like a good sentiment would be a sympathy sentiment. I love the sympathy sentiment in this set because it's just really pretty. One of the things I really love about this set as well is I want it this way. It doesn't really matter. It's just your personal preference. What I love about it is it's got both innie and outie sentiments. So I'm just going to stamp with sympathy on here, like so. Okay, and then we're going to add this to our card in just a moment. I also die cut 2 of these leafy kind of branches, and I used my wild wheat because I thought they would give a nice kind of dimension. And I'm just going to tuck those behind like that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so to do that, I'm going to take and use some glue dots, which I have already lost. Usually when I find them finally, they're like right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to put these on like this. And then I'm actually just going to take the die to help me with placement so that I can position these in the right spot. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck that under there. And I just love how I can use my die to help me figure out the right spot for these, like that. All right. Then I'm going to adhere these. Now, the thing with this die is we're going to kind of puzzle piece it together. So that makes it a little bit tricky to pop up. But what we could do is take and die cut this with one of our foam adhesive sheets. So I'm going to do that and then we'll put it together. Okay, now what I love about the foam adhesive sheet is that it kind of stays intact, meaning that it does kind of stick together, which is perfect. So I'm going to start by pulling the center section out. And then I'm going to adhere the coordinating center section of my cardstock to this. All right. And then I will pull the detail portion, I guess, for lack of a better description of it. I'm going to remove these little dots too, because I don't want them to get in the way. Okay. And that all just kind of holds together. You can even keep it in the, the backing to give it a little extra hold if you want, in terms of keeping the shape. So I will just line this up right on top. And, I think a lot of times we forget about these foam adhesive sheets, but gosh, they are handy. All right, so I'll pull both of the backing portions, and these are two separate pieces, so I could, use them as such, but we're just kind of keeping everything together, and this will just pop up my sentiment so beautifully onto my card, which I really love and appreciate. Okay, so don't forget about those foam adhesive sheets. They're really handy, and I will link them in the description of this video for you. Now, to finish off my card, I want to do a little bit of embellishing. We have a couple of different possibilities. I think I'm going to take some of my in color jute trim. Ooh. Go, and I'm going to tie a little bit around this, like in a bow. So I'm going to cut a length of it with my snips. And then this is kind of thick trim, so I like to get a little extra out of this pack. There's, I think, technically 3 strands that are twisted up into this one thicker strand. And so I'm going to literally pull one of those strands apart. And what I love about it is, we've already got this big popped up section on my card. So my card's already getting thick, right? And I would probably like to pop up this whole panel onto my card. But this is going to keep me, sorry, what's handy is I'm going to hold the end of this in my mouth and then pull. You're welcome. Well, I thought that would work a little better than it did. What happens is when you get to do a longer length of this, there we go. Just takes a little bit more effort to undo, but I think it's worth it. And then you get 3 times as much, because now I can pull that apart as well and use it. All right, so let's tie this onto our card. I also love that it's a little kinky, as in there's kinks in it. And I can tie a lovely little bow here to add to my card. And then finally, I want to add some dots to this. Okay, let's pop this up first. So I'll just use a few dimensionals. Like so. And then finally, I've got my little bow on here. Finally, I'm going to add some dots, and for that I'm going to use our In Color Opaque Sparkle Dots, and these are really wonderful. They've got a lovely little shimmer to them. I can use either the Pebbled Path. I think I'm going to use the Wild Wheat because I love the little pop of color they will bring. Let me grab my take your pick tool rather than my die brush one. And oops, I'm going to just put a couple of these on here like so, to just do a little decoration on my card. And isn't that beautiful? Now on the inside of my card, I can go ahead and add another little bit of stamping. And for that, we have the kind of coordinating sentiment that will fit on the inside, or the innie sentiment, as I kind of like to refer to it. And it says, "My heart goes out to you." I'm going to stamp that a little bit off to the side. And then I'm going to take our other bundle, which is the, let's see, where did it go? The flower, what is this one called? The Flowers of Beauty, Layers of Beauty, final answer. And I'm going to stamp kind of the coordinating sentiment on here. Okay, so to do that, I'll start with the bold image, actually. So I stamped that full strength in my Pretty Peacock. Then I'm going to ink up the detail of this image, stamp it off, or not the detail, the solid. And let's stamp this correctly. There we go. I had it all figured out, and then I flipped I flipped the image. Okay, so then I'm also going to add in some wild wheat ink my leaves. Now you might notice the leaves have just kind of like this really big stem. So I'm just going to ink up the leaf part, just literally omitting the stem, or most of the stem. And I'm just going to add it right here. And then those leaves are kind of the same design as the leaves on the front of my card. So it carries the design throughout, which I just love. And then I'm using both of the bundles in this suite, which again, I lost the case to my stamp set. Where did it go? I had everything out, and then, you know, when you go to shoot a video, everything just kind of disappears on you sometimes. Okay, so I just think this is so pretty and would make just a wonderful sympathy card. And I love using just a really different color palette with my project. And I really think that shows the versatility of our bundles. They really work with a lot of different color combinations, a lot of different products, you know, that don't necessarily go with this suite. You can completely use with the stamps and dies. Now, today's project features the Unbounded Beauty Suite, and you can get a PDF with 12 video tutorials featuring the products in this suite from me, either for free during the month of September when you purchase at least $50 in my online store, or you can get it for $15, and the link is in the description of this video. So thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you loved this different take on this suite with this different color palette, and that you'll enjoy this awesome card. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And you can, of course, check out my blog post for additional photos and information about the supplies I used today. Thank you so much for stamping with me today, friends. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.